So, very warm welcome to everybody. Welcome to our Sunday evening conference. I'm very excited. We have Bernadette. I think she's still in Joburg. Nicoline, hello. Nicoline from Mpumalanga. Soraya. Everybody is here. Hello. Good evening. So if you just mute yourself, then I just continue with the call. And if you have later on questions, just then pop in with the questions. We just don't want to disturb too much the flow of the presentation. Also, you can write down your questions in the chat. There is also a chat group. So very warm welcome from my side. I'm very excited because this is basically a call what I do tonight, which is basic in our business. Okay, I can see I must be. Yes. Okay, now we should have it quiet for everybody. So when I talk about client service tonight, this is one of our main subjects. And you might laugh now, when I went to my very first trainings, and especially when I went to the big trainings, and especially to the trainings where Mark Hughes was there, the founder himself. Guess the training, what he did most of the time was about client service. It was about follow-up. It was about that the customers must find the right recipe, that they love the shake. So it was always about follow-up. And I thought, oh my goodness, Mark, we know it now. But only later on I really understood how important the follow-up is. So I want to go with you briefly through the follow-up from the 3-day trial. I will go briefly through the upgrade after the 3-day trial because this was basically in our previous course. And as you know, this is now actually week 4 from our 12-week Success Academy, which we have established here on our online conference system. So if you have missed the last calls, then just stay on track and then you get it the next time. What I want to stress a little bit more is about the continuous follow-up and customer support. There is a penny in the sale, Jim Rohn always said, but you earn a fortune in the follow-up. When you think now, my level today, for those who don't know me, from the marketing plan is called President Team. This is one of the highest levels you can achieve. But I started as a client. So if I wouldn't have had great results, I wouldn't be here today. So imagine always each customer you have, doesn't matter how difficult or how easy they are. Sometimes the most difficult customer becomes the best member later on. It's just we need actually to go through that process to help them to great results. And then obviously only when a customer has great results, this is the one you want to develop to an ambassador, to an active member. That means not when you want to develop somebody to an active member that he must lose first all his 30 kilos he has to lose. No, but you can feel already in the very beginning stage, is this person excited about the results? Do they maybe send you all the time their own shake recipes and all of these little things where you feel, this is somebody who behaves already like a member or like a dream customer, and this person is sending you all the time the referrals. So your antenna is basically always out there that your customer, your client has great support. You hear sometimes customer, sometimes client. Actually, when we talk about service and a long-term client, then you talk from a client. A customer is more from salespeople that they speak about the salesperson. Now, I want to start here with an example how quick you can win and lose clients and also your reputation. And I have that from the book, The Compound Effect. So if you're looking for a real good book, then I highly suggest this book. So just out of the, without understanding the whole context, but this makes a lot of sense. So he shares there a real-time story to illustrate this nothing fades like success concept. So a great new restaurant opened up close to my home on the beach in San Diego. In the beginning, the place was always immaculate. The hostess had a big welcoming smile for everyone. The service was impeccable. The manager came over and assured it, and the food was sensational. Soon people started lining up to eat there and would often wait more than an hour to be seated. Then, unfortunately, the restaurant staff began to take its success for granted. The hostess came snooty, the service staff disheveled and could, and the food quality hit or miss. The place was out of business within 18 months. They failed because of their success, or rather, because they stopped doing what made them successful to begin with. Their success clouded their perspective and they slacked off. Now, why do I use this as an example? Look, when we get started or when we have a brand new customer, we are like excited. Oh, wow, we put everything in it. But then often when we have the customer and we see the customer week by week, month by month, this is actually the ideal customer. I love them to bits when I see them weekly and monthly. But often we get a little bit too relaxed with our follow-up. We just quickly measure, weigh them, goodbye, and look for the next customers. But there is actually the gold. This person is your diamond, your sleeping diamond. And when you know that a diamond, you don't find them lying on top of the soil. For a diamond, you have to dig. And you have digged already because you found that diamond. But the diamond need also to be polished, that you really find its value. And this is what you do basically with the follow-up. And this is not just tactics. What I share with you now is a couple of things we do. It's basically that everything what you do around this person really is coming from your heart, from the bottom of your heart. And it's not about time. It doesn't cost you lots of time, but monitor yourself. What you do for your customer, does it really come with love and with passion? So what is basically your goal? Is your goal helping people to a healthy, active lifestyle? Welcome. Is your goal to build a sustainable income? That's excellent. Is it learning to be your best version of yourself and to become a leader? Then it's excellent. And it doesn't matter, don't get a fright now when you read that word leader. Leading means also that we lead our customer to a healthy, active lifestyle. Lead by example means that you by yourself work on your result all the time and your customer is excited to see your change and want to follow you. Learning to be the best version of yourself means every day a little bit better than yesterday. It's as simple as that. And if you want to know at this stage the complete formula for getting lucky, do you want to know that? Now, getting lucky means preparation plus attitude plus opportunity plus action, and that creates luck. It's again out of my favorite book at the moment right now. I'm reading this right now, which is called, oh, there's a mistake, which is called The Compound Effect. Now, preparation is when your customer comes, you know already, you have a date with them. So you have a time in your diary. So when you go to your customer, be on time. When your customer comes to you, be there early enough that everything is nicely prepared. Personal growth means also always engage yourself in product knowledge, which is a product which could help your customer a little bit more. Personal growth is also if you have a problem to listen and you find that you talk more, learn to listen a little bit more, learn to ask the right questions. What did you do this weekend? You find out so much about your customer and the hobbies. No, I was working the whole week and I had so much stress. So then maybe your customer is not happy in his job and he would like to change his job. So there's so much opportunity. So preparation is more and more grow personally into the fact that you are a coach. Attitude. What is your belief? What is your mindset? Do you have the attitude, my customer never takes the product longer than a month. My customer does not have money. My customer, they're cheating all the time. They're eating all the time the wrong stuff. Is this your attitude? Or is your attitude, I support my customer that they get, every day they get a little hint that they think of me, that they start to make the better choices when it comes to food, that they trust me, that they rather call me and say, Bea, is it better to eat this or better to eat this? That they, even when they go shopping, rather give me quickly a WhatsApp message, which yogurt would you choose? So that there is a friendship, a relationship growing. Is this your attitude? Opportunity, a good thing is coming your way. We have everyday opportunities, and opportunities is basically the people we meet. So you have the opportunity, you even don't need to wait for them. Just put on your button, talk to your people, talk to your customer. Your customer will bring you the next referral when the preparation and the attitude is right. And then obviously the action, really action on it. So action on what you hear tonight, action on when you basically, a great follow-up, you know what is the easiest follow-up you can do? When you think of yourself, what kind of follow-up would you like to have? And I often hear, but my sponsor never did that kind of follow-up for me. And where's the problem? If I tell you my customer, my sponsor did no follow-up at all with me, I was constipated, I had headaches, nobody told me that I shouldn't take the milk. So I discovered that by myself. I don't know why, but we can't hope for that customer, that unique person who finds everything out by themselves and stays on track. We want to action on it and do it the right way. So don't look for others what they haven't done for you or what they don't do. Do your very, very best, and then you get lucky. Mark Hughes always said, the harder you work, the luckier you are. Whereas me personally, I don't see the follow-up as hard work, because for me, it's about building relationships. This is like meeting a person for coffee or tea and having a chat with them. By the way, I always, when my customer comes for the follow-up, I always offer them, do you have a tea with me? And I then make them our delicious herbal beverage, of course, with the aloe mango in it. And this is the reason why all my customers use also the aloe mango, because they like the way the tea, I make the tea. So latest after the first or the second month, they say, but your tea always tastes different. And I say, yeah, I told you, I put the aloe mango in it. So I don't have a problem when my customer starts on shake and tea. They take later on the aloe mango because I offer it to them. And if they say, no tea for me today, then I say, but then you want to have a glass of water, huh? And then I make them a glass of water. But obviously in that glass of water goes what? The aloe mango. And they say, but what did you put in that water? That tastes so nice. I told you I always use the aloe mango. So, and then they get started sooner or later on the aloe mango. So for your preparation, understand again, we talk about the business, what you want to build. So there has to be the activity, the activity leads to our 15 wellness evaluation. So your monthly goal is always orientated on 15 wellness evaluation. Out of that, 10 trial packs, and out of that we have 5 new customers where we do our level 10 super duper rock star follow-up. And obviously out of these 5 customers, we create then 1 new member. So the whole exercise is basically that you create 5 new customers, and out of these 5 new customers, because you do an excellent follow-up, you can sooner or later find the 1 new member. And yes, you have to track that, because if you don't track your business, you don't know where you're standing, you don't know if you need to emphasize more on the follow-up, or if you emphasize more on the activity. So the easiest way, basically, you can fix your business when you are not there where you want to be, then it's track every single activity, what you do. I personally have this tracking sheet always in my diary. The moment I make a wellness assessment, I write in the name in this yellow column. The moment I hand out a trial pack, the name goes out into that blue column. The moment somebody upgrades, the name goes into the green column. The moment somebody signs up, the name goes into the red column. And on the right-hand side, the day 0, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, final. This is what I use just to track my follow-up, specifically for the trial pack. So if you imagine now you put in the first column, the name for the, I go back, previous. I put in the name for the first one, and this person got a trial pack, and my follow-up has to be on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then I mark it, and then I basically tick always when I contacted this person on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I usually contact them at least 2 to 3 times a day. So there must be 2 to 3 ticks in that box. So it helps me a little bit to keep the overview, especially for those who have very little time, that keeps you the overview. Oops, I must look for this follow-up and that follow-up. So you stay a little bit more on track because you don't want to miss your 3-day trial follow-up. And then obviously the green, the bright green columns, this is there to track your success for achieving the 500 by 3, and then also with 2 new downline members to track actually their success as well at the same time, because all what we want to achieve is each one 500 by 3 and plus 2 new members who we develop also to reach their 500 by 3 plus 2. So from there, remember always the wellness assessment and the follow-up is really essential. It creates the first impression. It starts to create trust. It means not because a person buys from you the 3-day trial that this person trusts you forever. It's just that the person trusts you for now. It starts to create a relationship. It's not a relationship yet. It starts to create a relationship. It starts to create a new member because 5 clients lead to 1 new member. So this is why the wellness assessment and the follow-up is so essential. Treat your 3-day client like your next president team member in your team. Be interested, be engaged, be excited, ask questions, find out about the person. What does the person like? What are the dislikes of the person? Is the person a vegetarian? Is it a dog lover? Is it a cat lover? Is it a person who is engaged or marry soon, or all these little things, and you want to write them down, because when you know when is their anniversary, when is their birthday, all these little things in your diary, or I use my phone for it, that I set a reminder, it helps me that at the right time to send a message, to send an email, or to send a postcard. I give you a simple example at this stage. Some of you might know that I was recently in Peru and did the hike to Machu Picchu. And I did the follow-up before I left for a couple, and we were chatting, and the guy asked me, so where do you go now when you go such a long time away? I said, to Peru. He said, what do you do there? I said, I do the Machu Picchu. He said, no, you're joking. I said, no, I'm doing the Machu Picchu. He said, this is my dream. This is on my bucket list. And I don't find time to do that. I don't know how do you make this? I say, I tell you when I come back. So now, what did I do when I was on vacations? I took his private address with me, and I sent him a postcard from Machu Picchu, from that hike, with a few special words. I didn't send it to the couple, I sent it specifically to him. So these are the little things you can do where you can create a relationship which is different than what they usually have in their normal life. So just as a little bit in between. So the 3-day trial, I said, I just touch on that briefly. So just re-evaluate yourself all the time with the 3-day trial. We become sometimes too relaxed. The more improved we are, we just do it like because it needs to be done. But think always, this person meets you now the first time. You want to give your very best. And I love always, after a wellness evaluation, when somebody leaves my club, then I say, congratulations, I'm so excited for you that you start your new healthy, active lifestyle. Thank you for your trust and allowing me to be your personal coach, blah, blah, blah. So I send them a quick message just after they have left, after they have bought the 3-day trial. And then obviously the next day, the follow-up starts. And you will, as I can see now the names on the chat group, just as a quick repeat, you ask questions then all the time. So I like to contact my customers in the morning around about 8 o'clock to find out how did they mix the shake and how did they start the day. These are the 2 questions, the only 2 questions I ask early morning. And then they send me how they mix the shake. So basically, I want to find out that they use the right milk. We like to use the lactose-free milk or the soya milk. Then obviously, round about 11 o'clock, I contact them again if the communication is not further going all the time. But then I ask, how much water did you drink so far? What did you have for snack this morning? And then the day as it continues, round about 3 o'clock, I ask, what is your snack this afternoon? How do you feel so far? I even ask the very first day when they left after the wellness assessment, I often ask, how did you feel now after the first shake and tea? Because they get from me as a sample, when they come for the wellness assessment, the tea, and after the wellness assessment, the shake. So even there I ask already. And then obviously later in the day, what did you have for dinner last night? So always make sure that they use the right milk. And this is even when they are longer on your follow-up, you always want to make sure that they use the right milk. Make sure really that they love their shakes. So they need really your support, that you find out what is their taste. Do they love coffee? Maybe they want to add some coffee. All of these little hints will help you big time there. And then obviously you take the weight and the measurements before and afterwards. And if you have the Tanita, then obviously also the Tanita readings. And then obviously on day 4, the results are not always there in the Tanita readings, but definitely we can see it in the weight, and definitely we can see it in the centimeters. So the day 4 assessment after 3-day trial, you take the measurements and the Tanita readings, celebrate the success. Don't stress about parts which are not developed yet. It's only 3 days. So don't worry about when the Tanita readings haven't improved yet. You discuss the upgrade and the ambassador program. We had this the last call, so I don't repeat it now. But then obviously you make a new appointment also for the next measurements. You give them new snack ideas, either that you tell them you email or WhatsApp it to them. or you have it printed. You find the snack ideas on level10club.co.za, but now you also can give them the web page, level10club.co.za, because as you know, when you click there without logging in into the Coaches Corner, when you just click there on recipes, you find cooking recipes and all of that. So in a summary, always when somebody has upgraded now, you arrange your appointment for the next measurements. And I do that on a weekly basis. And I just tell you now, I had a customer, a new customer started this week, and he said, and he was there on Friday for his measurement from the 3-day trial. And he said, but the next appointment I must make on a Wednesday. Friday is not a good day for me to come. I said, cool, no problem, then we make it on Wednesday. He said, but can't we make it then in 1.5 weeks? Because, I mean, now it's Friday and I come Wednesday again. I said, I rather want to see you on Wednesday again. It's too soon that I leave you for 1.5 weeks already off the line. And this is just my attitude. You can decide how you want to have it, but I rather like to have them on a stricter regime in the beginning, that we really get the great results. Because I know the greater and the bigger the results in the beginning, the more I get referrals and the more likely this person becomes a strong member. So you can hand out in the healthy breakfast sheet. I'll show that just in a second. Email more snack or shake recipe ideas is always helpful. And this can be one email today, another email tomorrow. Then we have our email newsletter on a weekly basis. You should have received the email from me today. So this is an email which you can use if you like it and just forward it to your customers. Just be smart, change the personal contact details. So this can be something where you stay in touch with your customers all the time. I use an email program which is called MailChimp.com, which you can use free for certain quantities. So when you get started now, this is nice to build there a client list where you can send on a regular basis emails. With just sending one email, you send it basically to lots of your customers, which is also not time consuming then anymore. The key is basically stay in touch all the time and build trust in many different ways. Add them to a broadcast list for your clients. So on your cell phone, when you use WhatsApp, you can build a broadcast list. So a normal group on WhatsApp leads that everybody is getting the same message and everybody can answer, and some of the people get annoyed. This is what we have with our members group and our supervisors group, and there it is fine because we are all there and we know each other, or we all have the similar goal. Whereas when a client, they want to have their privacy, but it's nice to have a broadcast list where you can send out a nice motivation, information. So just a tip there for the daily motivation or information: don't overload your clients. No religion, no politics. Be careful there because not everybody has the same interests. So just stay to the subject, everything about healthy, active lifestyle and nutrition. And obviously also not every day, buy a shake, buy a shake, buy a shake. It's more about make the people interested to get more information. Add them to your Facebook and Twitter. So befriend them on Facebook so that they see also what's going on your Facebook. And then I love to take a photo of my customers. So that first photo, latest when they have finished with their 3-day trial, is for me worth a fortune. Yeah, because first of all, I like to take them often weekly photos, and I just save them on a file on my computer. But often after 4 weeks already, I start to write their story. So I write down how they felt before and how they feel now. And then obviously we have the level 10 body transformation challenge, where we also can invite our customer to participate in the body transformation challenge. It is an entry fee of 30 Rand, and they can win a trip to Mauritius. It's a 90-day challenge. So this is even something which keeps your customer far more focused, because you can say all the time, hey, 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 focus, Mauritius, don't you want to win? Yeah. So your customer can win. That's a regional competition, a quarterly competition. Your customer can win their 2,000 Rand. 50% is product and 50% is money. And your customer can win then as an annual winner the trip to Mauritius and more money. So it's very interesting. You can read that up on herbalifeactive.co.za. This is basically the page also where you register yourself free, and you can upload your customers and all of that. So just read up there. This is the healthy breakfast sheet, which I love to give to my customer, maybe not in the first week, sometimes in the second or third week, just also as a reminder. But also I tell them now, look, do you remember before Herbalife you had no breakfast? So this was your blood sugar level. Now you have the shake, you have a balanced protein-based breakfast. This is why your appetite stays under control, no cravings for carbs, you have high energy for longer, and you have good focus and concentration. So when you go to work, are there any people who have no breakfast or who have carbohydrates for breakfast? And then your customer might say, yeah, there's a lot of people actually who are often have no breakfast. I said, look, they are often moody, grumpy. Don't you think I should come to your work and explain a little bit more how everything happens and how they basically can feel so much better? And either the people take that now with them to work and start to talk to people, or we even can arrange a little shake party at work. So everything is possible out of that. So just use it. It's always good when the customer has, after 2 to 3 weeks, a little reminder to rethink what he has learned in the beginning. Because as great as our presentation book is, and as great as you work with the presentation, I'm sure you make an excellent presentation, but the customer does not remember everything. So it's time now to repeat. So even in the follow-up, I have my presentation book always with me, and sometimes I use it just to explain the readings again to the customer that they really understand. Because you must understand one thing, the better you educate your customer and they understand all their readings from the Tanita, the better they understand what is good to eat, the more they are educated. That means your customer, you educate them already. So when your customer becomes once a member, they know already so much. It's so beautiful. It's so much easier, basically. This is how I put the stories together. This is one of my customers, Tasneem. She allowed me to show it here, so you must always ask them if it's allowed to show in public or if it is allowed. But I make the stories from everybody, so even if they don't allow me to show the stories anywhere, but I make the stories and I give it to them, I print it for them. I send it even as a pic on WhatsApp to them. So what happens, they start to share their own story. And this is the biggest effect, actually, what you can think of. This is why put that little time into it. If you have done it once or twice, it goes so quickly when you have your little template. But basically what you want to write down is how the person felt before and how the person feels now. And you don't have to everybody so much to write all the time. This is now a customer who I have developed from July last year till today. Even there's now more update to what you can read right now. But anyhow, that's not important right now. But you can see how you can develop a story. Quite nice maybe to explain to you is Tasneem started July last year with me as a customer. Only now in April she became a member. So sometimes, and she was all the time a happy customer, and she's still a happy customer, and she still comes on a weekly basis for me to measurements, because she just, as she says, she needs to see me just to stay on track. And you will have lots of these customers, but they will become the most exciting members then in the future as well. So now after the upgrade, you start to work on referrals and also on the happy customer. So somebody does not become automatically a happy customer because he upgrades. That is, again, a process. So stay in contact with your client all the time. WhatsApp, email, educate them a little bit about nutrition, the body composition. I mean, we send out so many on the group chat. The reason why we do that is you can basically copy and paste from there if you don't have your own ideas or if you don't have time to think about something. But now it's also the time to ask for referrals, because to have a customer is great, but what is better is basically when you create a cluster of customers. What does it mean to have a cluster of customers? You have one customer, and this customer leads you to another 2 or 3 people. And these 2 or 3 people lead you to another 2 or 3 people each. So that you basically, one customer who you have got maybe through a button, but you create underneath a cluster of 10 customers where one sends you to somebody else and the other one invites you to work, and so that you develop like almost grapes look like, yeah, that you have that cluster of customers. And this is where you start to ask your client. So when your client comes to you and, great result, and you're looking awesome, and did somebody see already how great you look? And they say yes or no. But this is the time also when you know they have a mom and the parents are still around. So when can I see your mom? Or when can I see your parents? Or you ask, so now I need to make an assessment with your wife, huh? And so just be a little bit direct here, just a couple of ideas how I like to ask for referrals. I don't say, would you give me please some referrals? I'm more like, you can read it here. So when can I come to your work and for a wellness hour? And they ask them, what is a wellness hour? Look, I come for free. I give the people, everybody gets a gym and a cup. I do the Lady Tanita for them. And afterwards we make, I explain everything to them. And if there's the possibility, we can even make a shake for them. And then it depends. Sometimes the people say, oh yeah, that's cool. Sometimes people say they must ask the boss or HR. Sometimes people say, oh, we have soon coming up a wellness day. Maybe you want to participate in the wellness day. But if you don't ask, then you can't win. So this is again what I said in the beginning. This is taking action, yeah, which is part of being lucky. Luck does not come to you. For luck, you have to be active. And this is when you start to ask. So the same, when you found out that your customer is in a running club, cycling club, hiking club. So when can I come to your cycling club and sample some of my CR7 and bring my Lady Tanita? Or you can ask, who do you know who is grumpy or miserable in the morning? So when you know that person is working in an office. Or who do you know who need more energy? Or you ask, who has seen already that you look so much better? And I love to do that always when my customer really looks, I can see a difference already. And often the people say, no, nobody so far. I said, don't worry, they see it sooner or later. And interesting enough, when you ask that over and over again, sooner or later they come and say, my colleague asked me today and they want to talk to you. So this is basically what comes back. So referrals take sometimes a little bit of time, but if you don't ask consistently, this is why be excited all the time when you see your customer, because all the time when you see your customer, it's time basically that there maybe pops up another referral if you ask. Then obviously, when your customer has kids and the kids go to school and you know about the school event, hey, could I come to that school event from your kids and have a stand there? I don't have kids, but if my customers tell me about events at schools, I always ask, could I come to the school event from your kids and have a stand there? Because often there is an opportunity through the parent. Or you can ask, when you talk about the children and the school and all of that, is there a possibility that I can talk to the teacher of your child just about good nutrition? So that you get introduced there. So there's many different opportunities. And yes, there are some objections, and you might have them in your mind already, that somebody says, no, my wife does not need a wellness assessment, she's slim. Look, it's not about that somebody starts on the product. It's basically, I want that the whole family has my service, because it's good when we have the wellness assessment done for the whole family, that everybody is on the same standing when it comes to health. Or somebody says, I don't know if my boss allows to have a wellness day at my work. No problem, ask your boss. Or even better, if you want to, ask your boss, but tell them I give them a call. Yeah. So then this person tells the boss, hey, Bia is calling you, or Bia is coming through. And then I offer the boss a free wellness assessment so that he knows already what do we do. And, you know, when we do an assessment, the people are so excited about the value, what we deliver with our Tunita, so that they automatically want to learn more and want to have it at their workplace. When somebody says, my parents are too old, I say, look, my parents are 75 and 76. I wouldn't say they are too old. I really want to have them healthy and fit. Just let's do it. I want to have it as an extra service for your parents. I don't mind. For me, nobody is too old. I don't want that somebody says about me one day, I'm too old for anything. Yeah. So offer it. And when somebody says, no, they don't have money, it's not about money. We want to offer a free wellness assessment. And never think you don't do a wellness assessment for somebody because that somebody has no money. This person can lead you to so many other people. And if you don't believe me, then just talk to Ria, who is also here on the call, who has started her lady who cleans her house, Nella, on the products. And out of that, this lady is today already a qualified producer on her way to supervisor. She had nothing, but she knew a lot of people. And if I'm not mistaken, under Nella are already 5 or 6 members, if not more in the meantime. Absolutely amazing. So never judge people, and this is probably the biggest note you want to make tonight. Never judge people where they come from, or what job they have, or how much money you have. You might think the person who comes to you for the wellness assessment and drives a Porsche, that they buy a big program, and then you think the lady who comes with the public transportation and maybe does not wear the newest fashion, that you think, I think she does not have money. Don't even think like that. You will be surprised. Sometimes the people who don't look like, they buy the biggest program, and people who come with the Porsche or Ferrari, they actually don't have anything than just looking good. But they say, no, I must wait till the end of the month. So never ever think, never ever have expectations in people. Just do your very, very best wellness assessment and your very, very best follow-up. And then obviously you can even offer shake or beauty party incentive. Yeah. Would you be the host for my next shake party? Could I come to your house? You invite 3 to 5 people. I do everything else. We do the tea before, we make a nice cocktail out of it, and then we do a little bit the Lady Tanita, so everybody knows how old they are, their metabolic age, so we have lots of fun. Can you do that for me? And even afterwards, we can make a nice shake buffet. Yeah. So, or the beauty party. Hey, would you be the host for my next beauty party? Beauty party means basically we make a member party where we treat ourselves on the face and you will feel so amazing. We have a 7-day skin trial set, but I can tell you, you feel already from only once, you feel already a difference. We can have a little champagne there, we can have some fun there. Would you be the host for my next beauty party? You can even make a little incentive with it where you say, if you have 5 people there, you can make a little incentive. Some of us do it with the cooler bag. Now it's into winter, maybe the cooler bag is not so interesting. Maybe you want to have as an incentive a Herbalife water bottle or a warmer cup. So there's many different ideas. Just be a little bit thinking out of the box, you will have an idea. So, but lots of activity lead at the end of the day to your 5 customers and to the new member. I was talking about the tracking. So this never ever leaves you if you want to build a consistent business. If you really want to be successful, these are our basics and this is what we need, definitely. This is the flow of our program. So whenever you're stuck somewhere and think, what's not going right at the moment? My business does not grow as I want to grow it. Then you look back and say, do I have 15 wellness evaluations? Do I have 10 trial packs? Do I have 5 customers out of the 10 trial packs? Do I have 1 new member out of my customer? And when there's wherever the number is not the same, like 15, 10, 5, 1. If it's more, great, let me know, because then you must be a trainer. If it is these numbers, great. If it is less, let me say you have 15 evaluations, you have 10 trial packs, but no customer. That means you need support in the follow-up. That means not that you're a loser. That means only you have to learn a little bit more about the follow-up. Yeah. If you have 15 wellness assessments, 10 trial packs, 5 customers, but no member, that means we need to have a look at it. Maybe you don't know how to evaluate who could be your next member. But this will be also part of our next call next week. And then obviously you start to invite your happy customer. This is also part of our next call. Your customer who is excited and gives you referrals. Basically, we say to a customer, if you give me 2 people who want to start on the 3-day trial, then you can become a candidate for the ambassador program. And the same is when somebody hosts a shake party and they have at least 2 people there who take a trial pack. You invite them as a candidate for the ambassador program to the membership advantages presentation. So all what you want to have to be successful is really sooner or later that you have your Tanita, you have your wellness evaluation presentation all the time with you, you have your diary all the time with you, and then obviously all the meetings in your diary as well. I highly recommend wear the 3-day trial button all the time. So for me, it's if I see a customer, if it is Sunday, and I go to quickly shopping, what I did in the afternoon now, I'm wearing my 3-day trial button all the time. You never know who you meet. And basically the people you meet, these are people who need you desperately. Then obviously you need the shake tea, lactose-free milk, soya milk, PDM, always for sampling. And PDM, this is another trick or tip or idea. Your customer starts on the shake tea and aloe. Your customer comes back for the next follow-up. Have always a little sample with the next follow-up. So the next sample could be, let me show you how you can make a shake without milk. This is where I make my customer a shake with PDM or with the personalized protein powder or with a mix of that, so that they get off from buying the milk somewhere, rather using the PDM. But obviously I also explain them at the same time that with the PDM they can have a delicious snack. And then be excited really to become the best version of yourself. So when you go and have a look at the Level 10 Body Transformation Challenge, this is basically, you can put your customers on it, but you can also put yourself on it. There's also a members challenge at the same time. So you can work both customer, your client, and yourself on your becoming the best version of yourself. And it's obviously then also the daily improvement. Just for an overview quickly, all the upcoming dates, but I have sent you all of that already out. So maybe you want to make a screenshot of it, but have it in your diary. Very, very important for the Cape Town region. We have our next BBS on the 4th of June. We have our HRM on Tuesday as usual. And then a very, very big event. And for everybody who is on the call right now from Joburg, I'm coming to Joburg on the 19th till the 21st of February. Very important. The reason why I'm coming is basically we have a doctor coming from Scotland who trains us in Johannesburg. He's not coming to Cape Town to the Leadership Development Weekend. So we have other top speakers for Cape Town. But this is basically one of the reasons why I go to both events, the Leadership Development Weekend. So I'm looking forward to see all the people from Johannesburg, Gauteng area on the 19th and 21st of February. And then on the 26th till 28th of February, all the team in Cape Town. Leadership Development Weekend, it's our last big event, which is only open to supervisors, and those who are supervisors already, they need to qualify specifically. So it's actually, you have to work for it to be there, and it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Then we have the extravaganzas. This must be in your diary. Events not to be missed, so just put it in your diary. It's a no-brainer. Everybody of us is there. And our promotion for the Free Tanita is going on. And then obviously the Vacation 2017 count already. Our live training on Monday, weekly basic training, is ongoing. So next is tomorrow evening, 7:15, we get started. And it's all about the Level 10 client service. Again, tomorrow live. All the forms, presentation, you know that already, you find on the Level 10 Club. And this is new. From this Sunday onwards, you always have the opportunity to get a certificate. This is the certificate, how it looks like. You can print it by yourself. You can print it either here from the page, or you just send me an email to my email address, bea@cori.info, and just send me even when you have more questions, you can send me your questions, but also obviously that you just write me week 4 certificate, please, and then I'll send you the certificate. And obviously I double check just with the people who were here on the call, because it's only for the people who attended the live call that they can have the certificate. So from there, I just say at this stage, I'm at the end, but obviously I want to see if there's any questions.